I wanted to just quick create a video going over how to do your double exposure in Photoshop. I'm going to be using the low key images to do this, but we're going to be using pretty much the same process when we use the high key image and the landscape. So I've opened up Photoshop. It is the PS icon down at the bottom of your dock. And this screen will pop up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create new. And from here, you're going to change a couple of settings. So if your photos are horizontal, you're going to put your sizing in as 19 by 13. My photos are vertical, so I'm going to switch it to 13 by 19. 13 by 19 is the size that our printer prints, so we like to format for that size. After you're done with that, you can leave everything else and you can click Create. Okay, so this is just my blank canvas in Photoshop. In order to get started, I need to import my photos into Photoshop. The way that I do that is that I go up all the way to the top where it says File, and I'm going to click on Place Embedded. Okay, I'm going to find my folder on my desktop. You must have exported your photos onto your desktop from Lightroom in order for them to be there, so make sure that you've already done that. I'm going to select my first photo and click Place, and there it is. It's not quite the right size, so I'm going to, just from the corners, resize it a little bit so that there's no white on the ends, and then I'll click Return. I'm going to do the same thing again for the second photo. File, Place Embedded, grab the second photo, place, and then same thing. I'm going to just resize it a little bit and press Return. Okay, so now I have my two photos in here. You can't see both photos because they're one on top of each other. But if you come over here to the bottom right, you'll see what's called the layer panel. Okay, the layer panel is where you can see everything that's going on in your document. Even if you can't see it on the canvas right now because something's on top of another thing, you can see it over here in the layer panel. The layer panel is going to be key to creating a double exposure because the way we make one of the photos transparent is through something called a layer style. Okay, so I'm going to do this to my top layer, whichever photo is on the top. You can click and drag them and move them around so that a different photo is on top if that is something that makes a difference to you. But it shouldn't make it too much of a difference in your artwork. With the high key photo, it will make a little bit of a difference. We'll talk about that then. Okay, so over here on the layer panel, you'll see it says kind and then it says normal. Where it says normal, if you click, a drop down menu comes up and a bunch of options will show. What you're going to do here is basically just hover over each option and it will show you the way that your photo will change depending on that layer style. Okay, and what I want you to do is just kind of hover over and look at them all until you find one that works for you. There's a lot of them, okay? So I'm going to go with lighten because I think that that one works the best for me. And you can see that it creates transparency in the photo so that I can see through to my other photo. Now this looks okay, but it's not quite what I want it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move one of the photos so that I can line it up a little bit better. I think it would be really interesting if I had this eye lined up to look like it was also on this face. So I'm going to move this around. So in Photoshop, in order to move a picture or anything, you'll need to be on the Move tool. If you hover over here, you'll see that this one is called the Move tool. This is the toolbar. There's lots of stuff over here. But for now, make sure that you're on the Move tool. And then I'm just going to click my photo and I'm going to move it. And I can also, as long as I'm on the Move tool, I can also use my arrow keys, which I'm doing right now, to move it around. Okay, so I wanted it to it's kind of creepy, but I wanted it to have the eye lined up so that it looks like it's on this face, and it also looks like it's on that face, kind of like an optical illusion. Okay, so that's the look that I am going for. So I can stop here. I don't have to do anything more to this artwork. I think it's done. It's double exposed. I love the way that the hands add movement. So I would stop here. If you have any issues with needing to resize an image, like one image is a little too small, you want to resize it so it lines up a little bit better, what you would do is you'd come up to the top and go to Edit and then Free Transform. That's how you get that box around it. Okay, and from there you can resize. Okay, you could also move from there as well. Okay, I'm going to just press the X because I don't want to do that, but if that's something that you wanted to do, Edit and Free Transform is how you resize. Make sure that you're on the layer that you want to resize when you hit Edit, Free Transform. Okay. All right, so that's it. The last thing that you have to do is go to File and then Save, and you're going to save on your computer. Okay, I'm going to make sure I'm on my desktop. And I'm going to just call this, I don't know, I'll call it LK double exposure. Okay, and you can put your name first. All right, so first I'm saving it as a Photoshop file. That's the default. That's what will come up right away. So let's do that first. Press Save. Press OK. And then you'll wait and see it was saving. And then now we're going to go back up. And we're going to go to File and then Save As. Save on our computer, and we're going to keep the same name and we're going to keep our desktop, but we're going to change the format down here. We're going to change the format to a JPEG. That's just a photo file. Okay, and then we're going to press Save again. This option will come up. I like to put it to like 10. Okay, and then press OK. And then that's it. That JPEG file .jpg, that's the file that you are going to upload onto Google Classroom. Okay, good luck.